Hey, Zero Dark 30 Games. It is finally Friday, and as I'm sure a lot of you guys have had a busy week, we had testing this week, which is always a headache. But this week we're going to talk about do's and don'ts in the gym, and I'm going to be honest with you, I myself can sometimes be guilty of these things, and we're just going to go ahead and get into it. I do have a list here of do's and don'ts, so let's go ahead and go to the first one. First do is re-rack your weights, okay? Now, depending on what time of day it is, I may not re-rack my weights, especially if I am going to go back to that. If I'm doing like a superset or something, but that is also, you gotta think about the time. So I'm going at 3:30 in the morning. Obviously, there's not very many people in there, and I use a specific bench most of the time. So if I'm going from my bench press, and I'm gonna come back and do my closed grip bench press, then I might not re-rack them. But most of the time, you gotta re-rack your weights just as a courteous to other people. Other times it might be someone's going to do the leg press, like this morning. There was another guy on the leg press, and I was like, "Hey man, don't worry about racking that. I'm gonna jump in there after you." And it was like, "Cool, he doesn't have to do it." That was totally awesome. All right. The next big one, which is a major pet peeve of mine, even though I might not re-rack it every single time, I do make sure to wipe down the equipment that you use. Guys, this is a hygiene thing. One of the biggest issues that I can think of off the top of my head is ringworm. We don't want that. Most gyms, if not all gyms, have a disinfectant spray for you to use, and use paper towels if you guys don't want to use a rag. Wipe it down, throw the paper towel away, keep moving. It's a hygiene thing, keep going, all right? Don't just jump in to another set. So always ask if you can jump in with a group if they're like getting ready to do the same thing as you. Most of the time they're gonna say yes, because it's so much better and you work so much harder when you're pushing yourself with a group. But don't be that guy that's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hop in here with you guys." But ask them. Most of the time they're gonna say yes, which is pretty cool. Another thing is, I've had comments of this, like the music in my videos suck, or use some other terms we're not going to discuss on this channel. But wear some headphones, okay? Now, most of the time when I'm at the gym, the music is not always either my taste or, consistent. It's kind of choppy sometimes. Wear headphones. Be your own DJ. I personally like listening to metal, occasionally, depending on what I'm doing. And the first thing I do is I watch a show when I'm doing my elliptical for 30 minutes. So wear some headphones, be respectful of other people's noise. They don't want to necessarily listen to your stuff. Don't be blaring it over everyone else, all right? Also, encourage others, okay? You don't have to say something to someone every single time. Just a simple like, "What's up?" Bones. Okay? Just encourage everyone else. That is an awesome thing. Gym is a very positive place. And most of the time it's just, hey, I now do talk to the people that I was doing the head nods to. And we have some decent conversations. We check in with each other and make sure we're all doing good, All right? Another thing, and this is one that I need to work on, is focus on your form and not your ego. You don't always have to lift super heavy. Now, I'm trying to push myself to lift heavier stuff, but form is extremely important, so we gotta look at our form as well. Again, I'm not always the best on these, but we're all human. The next one is respect other people's place or space. Okay, don't hover, don't camp, and no unsolicited spots. Okay. Now, if I am waiting for a piece of equipment, I might be on the other side and watching the piece, or I might go do another set and be like, "Hey, how much more do you have here?" And I might go do another set before they're done with that. Or I might go do a different activity. But don't stand there and watch. Okay? Nobody wants that. All right, some don'ts, okay? It's not your gym, okay? It might be the gym you go to, but it does not belong to you. So don't hog one piece of equipment, okay? Don't hog a set of certain things just because you're doing this, because that's not cool. I mean, if you're going to do a superset and you're going to be planning on doing a superset, make sure when you go to the gym, it's not at a time where other people are going to be trying to do their workouts. Okay, be respectful of other people's times too, because you have to make time to go to the gym, and other people also have to make time to go to the gym. So if you're going to be doing something like that, you need to make sure that you're setting a time for yourself in order to do that. That's not going to interfere with other people. All right? Don't be the angry llama screaming for no reason. Now, that being said, if I'm pushing some weights, you may hear some grunts, okay? But don't just randomly just for no reason. Like, dude, it's obviously not that hard. You've done this 100 times before. Don't be that guy, okay? Now, something that I need to work on, and if you're someone that's going to be filming your stuff like I do, make sure people are aware. Don't film without some sort of consent. Most people that are in the gym know that I film one of my sets, and no one wants to be your B characters. So before you do, just make sure people are aware that you're going to film it, or get a tripod. I actually need to get a tripod for myself, but make sure you have consent for filming. Okay. There's another one that I have a hard time. Don't just drop the weights for no reason. I usually drop my deadlifts on the last one. I personally like the way it sounds, but for some reason people don't. I know that Planet Fitness, for example, has what's known as the glunk alarm for people that might drop weights or grunt or stuff like that. Guys, you're at the gym, you're gonna hear weights drop. Don't do it overly much. Don't do it intentionally. But if it drops once in a while, it's gonna happen. Don't be that guy that does it every single time. Okay? Another one, it's not one that I have issues with, but in the middle of your sets, don't be the dude that's just like flexing in the mirror. Guys, I'm not saying don't get a picture of you looking good in the mirror. By all means, you're going to the gym, you're doing your work, you're doing the right stuff, okay? What I'm saying is, all right, doing this couple sets, and then, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah. We don't need to be doing all that, okay? Get a good picture at the end of your workout when everything's pumped. That's awesome. I get at least one picture in the mirror at the end of each of my workouts. I do the best I can to make sure that people know that I'm taking a picture of myself. I'm not taking a picture of them. I get one from the front, one from the back, because by the time I'm finished with my workout, my back is like sweating, okay? But don't just like randomly be doing flexing in the mirrors. That's not a good look. All right. Next one is don't judge the people that are beginning, okay? You guys gotta remember your first time going to the gym. I mean, my first time going after being out for 10 years, it was not the easiest thing, and that was part of the reason I started going at 3:30 in the morning, is because I was like, okay, there's gonna be less people there, I'm gonna be less self-conscious. And I actually went with a full hoodie on, covering up my head every single time, because I didn't want people to be looking at me, okay? Now, I have a little more confidence now that I've been going for about 6-7 months, okay? But remember your first time. Remember how intimidating it could have been or was for you, okay? That's their first time too. They're there, they're putting in the work. Don't be a jerk, okay? be positive. I've not really seen any super negativity. Okay. Next one is you don't have to coach everyone. Okay. Now, if you see someone that's got a minor like issue with part of their form, or for example, one of the big issues that a lot of new guys have when they come in and are doing something like a deadlift or a squat, and I made this same mistake. Okay, I'd be wearing my running shoes because like those are the shoes that you're supposed to get when you start to work out, right? Get some running shoes, you know, to go and do a squat, and because they got the foam sole on them, their ankles are not stable, and when they're going down, their ankles are wobbling. I mean, that is a mistake that I was making, and someone corrected me on it, and I know I've corrected other people on it as well. Of course, if you're going to make a correction or a minor tweak, be positive with it, okay? Don't be a jerk. Make sure you say it in a positive way. Be like, dude, doing an awesome set. Matt, help you out with something real quick, okay? Hey, do you mind if I give you a pointer? Hey, I actually made the same mistake when I first started. Do you mind if I tell you? And, you know, just go at it that way. Also, you're not their personal trainer. I do have an issue with doing that a little bit. I don't try to coach people though. I just show them my app. It's in one of my past videos of it. Mainly because it's a good thing to like have a routine set up, and I might share my app with someone, be like, hey, you should check this app out. Just because it's something to like push you harder. Okay. Now I know these aren't everything that is like a do or a don't. And I'm sure that you guys have things that's like, oh, this is what I absolutely hate. Because my personal thing that I hate the most is when someone does not wipe down their equipment. It's like, girl, I can see your entire form in sweat on that bench that you just got up and walked away. Why? Okay? That's my personal pet peeve for the gym. But I kind of want to know what your biggest pet peeve is on your end. All right? So go ahead and put in the comments a fire emoji and just write out what your biggest pet peeve is. So that way, you know, we can talk about it and discuss. All right? Please don't forget to go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below so that way you can get updated on all the latest episodes. And I post 6 days a week for some of my routines that I do, at least one of my major push or pulls, depending on what it is. So go ahead and hit the follow button, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Stay sweaty.